module 3, module 4, module 5, module 6, module 7, module 8, up to 10. So make sure that you tune in, you subscribe, so that you're gonna get informed when I upload video. And please, by all means, support me by liking the video, comment down below, let me know which topic you want me to focus more on. Let me know how can I help you in terms of this course that we are about to discuss. So as we fold in, so today we are going to be discussing these topics. These are the subtitles found in module 1. So wait, something is missing here. So we are going to start here where it says module 1. So the first subtitle, as indicated, it says hospitality industry. So before you dive into the syllabus, you must know the terms, the introduction of the textbook. When they say hospitality industry, this question, they can normally just to test your ability to see if you know about what you are doing. So the examiner might want to test you by just asking you, define hospitality industry. What is a hospitality industry? So as you come across this question, so before I say anything, I always encourage my viewers to have a scribbler where they're gonna draft the points that I will be sharing, so to make it more easier for you to catch what I say. So as you done watching the video, then you start referencing towards my points and your notes as well. So I always encourage my viewers to have a pen and a scribbler so that they can note down the points that I will be sharing and the discussions. You just going to note what am I going to say, like the most important parts. You can just note the most important parts, the most important keys that I will be sharing. So as I have said, the examiner might want to test you, ask you what is a hospitality industry. So a hospitality industry is the service industry that ensures satisfaction of customers and providing specific experience to them or product. So a hospitality industry is a service industry that ensures satisfaction of customers and providing specific experience or product to them. So how do you satisfy your customer? It's either you're gonna offer them service or you're gonna offer them a product that's gonna satisfy their needs and wants. So basically that's the testing of your inability to say to the examiner, a hospitality industry, this industry, you can put it however, but it should consist these points that I just shared. And another thing, it is very important to start your sentence clearly so that the examiner, even if before he finishes your sentence, already he can see that you know what is a hospitality industry. You mustn't construct your sentence as if you are not sure about what you are saying. You must construct the sentence to show the examiner that you understand. You understand. The marker, not the examiner. The marker must know that you understand what is being asked. So when you say hospitality industry, as you start your sentence, you can reframe the term. A hospitality industry is an industry where customers service or product is executed to satisfy their needs or wants. So you can put it however in your English, because I always say this, our English, how we construct things will never be the same. We can read the same thing, but when it comes to answering it, we are not aligned to have the same sentences, the same. We cannot construct each and every sentence the same way because we differ in personalities. So as I've said, hospitality industry, it is an industry where the service it is a hospitality industry in the service industry that ensures satisfaction of customers in providing a specific experience or product to them. So it is an industry where customers' needs and wants are being satisfied. However you put it, but for the examiner to see that you know it's about providing service or product and ensuring customer satisfaction, those are your 2 marks. Those are your easy 2 marks that you can get. So a kitchen design and departments and their function. So we're going to discuss the kitchen design and departments. So basically, you know that if you design a kitchen, it must have a storage service, food preparation. You must have a cleaning cupboards and delivery storage. It must also have the service storage where you are going to serve whatever you will be serving. As you all know that a hospitality industry, when we're doing hospitality, we are more based on establishments like hotel, restaurant. So these terms, actually, the whole courses, they form. It's like siblings. They connect. Whatever you can get in nutrition, whatever you can get in sanitation, you can also get in catering. Whatever you can get in applied, you can also get from catering. So they connect. They're like siblings. They share the same DNA. So now, as I have said that kitchen design and departments and their function. So you know that the function, the kitchen design should consist of the following: delivery, storage, cooking facility, kitchen, cleaning, storage for products, service room where food will be served, food preparation, backyard kitchen where food will be prepared, then dish return where food, how like the in forms of customers taking in your restaurant. How are you going to return the dishes back to the backyard kitchen where they're gonna get cleaned? So basically, kitchen design and departments and their function, it's all about those things. how your kitchen is. Okay, so as we continue kitchen design, and okay, we already discussed the kitchen design and departments and their function. So as we dive in, okay, the next point is basic kitchen. So your basic kitchen. Now we have, remember the kitchen design and departments. I've said that your kitchen must have food storage, cooking, kitchen, cleaning, storage, service where food will be served, how dishes will be returned, delivery, storage. Like when you design your your establishment, as I've mentioned, that your establishment should consist of these kitchen departments. Then their function is obviously as you construct the kitchen design, you already know their function. As I've said, that the delivery, the cooking, the storage, and the cleaning. You know that in cleaning we keep cleaning things, in delivery we keep food from the supply, like that. So now we are on basic kitchen. So basically on the examiner would want to know from you is that what can you find in a, like what should be in the kitchen, what basic things should a kitchen consist of, what should we always find in the kitchen, no matter how small a kitchen it is, but it must always consist of these basic kitchen setup. It will always be like this. Even if you have a bigger house, but it must always have these sessions. So the examiner is probably looking for you to tell him, for you to confirm to him or her that no, in kitchen you find sinks. You always find a sink in a kitchen. You always find a storage for utensils, which is the cupboard, the drawer that you put your cutlery in. You always find a storage for cooking equipment. You will always find a cupboard that normally our parents store their pots, or they might be storing them on top, but that's not the correct format. But however, like the examiner wants to test to see if you know how the kitchen is, the setup of a kitchen. So you tell her or him about the storage of cooking equipment, the storage for dry foods, which is the cupboards for dry foods, or you can say malicious. So where you store your malicious dry, like oil, your spices. So, and then the other thing is that the refrigerator, you always find a fridge in the kitchen. You can never find a fridge in a toilet. So always these things are the things that we normally see in our households. So they are there, like doesn't matter how big they are or small, but then this setup is always there. You will always find a refrigerator at your house. You will always find a storage for utensils. You will always find storage for pots. You will always find sufficient cooling space or area where the bin will be, the disposal bin will be. You will always find these things. So that's basically what the examiner is looking for. So difference between hot and cold kitchen. So I think this you can never forget it. Hot and cold. As it states, hot, that means in the hot kitchen, it is where food it is cooked. It is where food it is cooked. Food is heated, it is cooked. So in the hot kitchen, as you know, that food it is where food it is cooked. It is where food it is cooked, or cooked items are prepared in the hot kitchen. Then in the cold kitchen, non-cooked items are prepared, specifically raw foods, salads, or cutting of meats. Like the cold, they are from the cooling, they're from the refrigerator. They were just defrost. Now they are preparing them for cooking. They might be marinating, they might be seasoning, but that section in a bigger establishment, it is normally divided into two. You will find a hot and a cold kitchen. So in that section is a cold kitchen where meat is being marinated, defrosted, then it will be sent to the hot kitchen. The hot kitchen, it is whereby the food will be cooked. So that's the difference between the two, a hot and a cold kitchen. So the difference between a front and a back house kitchen and production. So this one, I took it as like general knowledge. If you know the front and the backyard, I will make example of KFC. Basically, we have seen the backyard of KFC, but we have never went through the backyard KFC. Where we normally enter, it is the front house kitchen. So the backyard production, we normally don't see. We normally see the front house, where food is being prepared, where food is being stored. We normally don't see those things at the back. So the difference between the back and the front is that at the back house of the kitchen, it is where you find fixed production equipment. That means those big freezers, they are in the backyard. We cannot see where they store their chicken. We cannot see the stuff that they use. Those are the fixed equipment. When I say fixed equipment, that they are not portable, they are not movable, they cannot shift. They are permanently installed. They are permanently installed. They do not move. They are not portable. You cannot push or shift them. They are there. They are built in production equipment. They are built in production equipment. So the cold kitchen, I'm saying the cold now. The front, it is where food is being served. Now you see when they pour your chicken in those serving boxes or serving containers. Now that's the front kitchen production, where you can see now how food is being prepared, not prepared per se, but how is being inserted in those receiving containers. So after receiving, that is when they give you the food. So basically in the front, you will find things that are movable. So those things that you see in the front, those things can be moved. Those are mostly portable things, can be moved. So they are not permanently there, but they can be moved. So that's the difference between the back and the front. So the different kitchen personnel and staff duties. So we are going to discuss the chef responsibilities. When we say the difference between kitchen personnel or staff and duties, so we basically we'll be discussing the chef responsibility. So, as I was saying, that on the different personnel and staff duties, so here we will be discussing the chef responsibilities. So, as you have known that we have different types of chefs when it comes to catering, hospitality, and for so we have different chef responsibilities. So on the textbook, you will find that they have showed them all, but they separated. But normally, people always struggle to differentiate different chefs because they used French terms. They don't normally ask you using English. These chefs are named accordingly in French terms. But the first one is our executive chef. So when we talk about executive chef, this chef is a manager. When you go to Petros or any formal restaurant, any restaurant basically, you will always find an executive chef. The one that makes sure the means of production are being set. The one that makes sure the means of production are in order. So you will always find executive chef in all establishments. So this is a top level manager, chef fulfilling managerial role in ensuring quality control. So as I've said, executive chef is someone who ensures that productions are being met, standards are being set. He ensures that the food is being prepared. He makes sure that the production is running smoothly. You will find that when you ask for a manager of the restaurant, you will see they ask like similar to their workers. You cannot differentiate. This is a manager. Normally they don't wear formal suits. They wear their kitchen hygienical prospectus. So you will find them wearing the same attire as their staff, but normally sometimes they differ. If they are the gentlemen, you will always find them wearing a jean and obviously shirt, then having a small badge that indicates that this is the manager, but you will not normally see it as you enter. But because of I think they are more like similar, man. You cannot differentiate who's the manager until you ask for the manager. So you must note that the executive chef refers to the manager of the restaurant. So you will always find them like shouting like, order one, why is the screen red? Why is the screen red? Let the orders pass. Let people get the orders. Let us move. You will find them pushing their staff, but they are all the same. You cannot differentiate. You cannot pinpoint like this is the manager unless they told you that this is the manager. So yeah, executive chef is someone who plays a managerial role, fulfilling or ensuring quality control over establishment. So a chef de cuisine is a head chef. So what is a head chef? A head chef is a assistant of a manager. Is the assistance of the manager, or is the second manager in command. A head chef, Chef Dickerson, is the head chef. So what is the head chef? When I say the head chef, this falls under a managerial. So a head chef, it's second after executive chef. So Chef Dickerson, which is the head chef, this one, when there is no manager, he's the one who takes charge. He's the one who ensures production. He's the one who pushes staff to work. He's the one that ensures that production it's run smoothly. He's the one that ensures effective control cost. So that's Chef Dickerson. So as sous chef, so this one is the real assistance, a sous chef. So a sous chef is second in command, assisting the executive chef or the head chef. So sous chef, which is the assistant chef, so they assist, they normally assist they normally assist the head chef and the executive chef. So they ensure that they are more like skilled. They are more skilled. That means without head chef and executive, the establishment can still run under sous chef, which is the assistant chef. So establishment, the production won't stop because of there is no executive, there is no head chef, but it can run under assistant chef. So basically what I'm trying to say is that head chef and the executive chef can leave responsibilities and full authority to the sous chef, the assistant chef. So the assistant chef will be responsible for the overall of the establishment. So then there is a chef depart. It refers to someone who specializes. It refers to a specific chef that works with department. Chef depart, like chef in department, like someone who will be in charge in a department, certain department. Doesn't matter which department, but chef depart normally specialize in all departments. So they ensure all production in all departments. So chef depart. So each and every department establishment have this chef depart. So KFC have this chef depart that ensures that all ice cream, wings, chicken, burgers are being prepared. That means chef depart have the experience, knows what is expected from each of the departments. So he ensures that all departments, they give extremely good service. So that's chef depart, someone who specializes in preparing for all station and execute the task. So we execute the task. So normally sometimes the sous chef might align the task to the chef depart. Then the chef depart will be the one who is subjected to ensure that things are being done. As I've said, things are being done. So we execute that ice cream are being done properly, the wings are being cooked properly, the chicken is being fried properly. So that's chef depart. They execute the tasks that are being aligned from executive chef or head chef or sous chef. So those are the 4 different responsibilities of chef: executive chef Dickerson, which is the head chef; sous chef, which is the assistant; then chef depart, which is the chef in department, someone who specializes in the department. So yeah, so now we are going to dive in more of specific chef depart. So when we dive in specific chef part, now we are so we will be focusing on the different chefs that are found in the kitchen. So specifically chef de part. We have explained what chef de part is. It's someone that specializes in preparing food in specific stations. So now we are going to explain specifically each chef found in each department. So now, as we said, that chef department ensures that all departments they are functioning. That means whether you are cooking soup, whether you are making, you are roasting, whether you are grilling, whether you are what, then chef depart ensures that each and every chef in that specifically department are effectively outstand the outcomes expected. So as we said that now we are focusing on different departments. When we're focusing on different departments, we are focusing on various of chefs, like who prepares the soup, who prepares the butchering of the chicken, who's responsible for grilling, who's responsible for washing the dishes, who was responsible for making of ice cream, who's responsible. So that is where we're going to focus on more. We are going to differentiate these chefs according to the specific job that they do in their department. So a South chef, Saute chef, SAUTE chef, Saute chef. This chef is someone who specializes in making of soup and gravies. So Saute chef is someone that specializes in making soups and gravies. So a butcher is someone that specializes in butchering or cutting of meat. You know, a butcher, someone who's responsible who specializes in butchering or cutting of meat. Then portioneer, this is a term for fish, someone who works with fish. Portioneer. So not fish per se, but portioneer, it's like someone who basically works with seafood. So portioneer, which is the fish chef, is someone that specializes in preparing of fish or seafood. So they normally prepare the fish or seafood. So a rotisserie is a roaster. So these terms are French. What I'm saying, I'm basically saying French terms. Why am I saying these French terms? Because the examiner normally don't ask in English. They ask these terms in French. As they have stated in the textbook, they use French terms and English. But as they ask, they won't ask you using English because you will know. So always want to challenge your thinking, to challenge to see if you know, right? So when he says the rotisserie, it's ROTISSEAR, rotisserie. Forgive me for the pronunciation, but I'm not French. So rotisserie refers to a roasting chef, someone who roasts. So a rotisserie specializes in roasting of food and appropriate sauce. So it's someone who specializes in roasting of food and appropriate sauces. So this one, it's someone who's basically roasting and preparing sauces for roasting. So fruiture, fruiter or fruiture. I don't know how they say it, but then I know that it's fruiture. So fruiture is Friturier. Fruiture. So fruiture refers to a fruit. Yeah, I know I'm lying. Oh, sorry, forgive me. Fruitere refers to someone who fries. Fruitere. Friture refers to someone that who fries, specialized in frying food items. So basically, this person is specialized in frying of foods, whether chicken, whether what. He's the one who's responsible for the frying. So he specializes in the frying of food. Then grilladine, which is GRILLARDIN. Grillandin, or whatever the term is, but I hope you hear what I'm trying to say as I've spelled. So as you write it down, you're gonna be more familiar with it. So Grilland or Grilland, whatever it is. So basically refers to a griller. Grillandin. I don't know how to pronounce these terms in French, guys. Forgive me. So grillandin, I'm gonna try my best. But what's more important is that you get the concept, so that when it comes, it doesn't matter. Pronunciation doesn't matter, as long as you can explain it. As long as you know that this term grillandin or whatsoever, I know that is a griller. It's someone who specializes in grilling, whether grilling foods or whatever, but it's someone who specializes in grilling. And then pantry chef. So pantry chef is someone that specializes in preparing cold dishes. Pantry. So guys, please note this down: pantry and pastry. The reason why I say you must note it down, write the difference between pantry and pastry. So normally they are close to each other, and the examiner might want to test to disturb you, asking you what is a pantry chef or what is a pastry chef. So you must know how to differentiate a pantry chef. A pantry chef is someone that specializes in preparing cold dishes. A pastry is someone specializes in all baking goods. So you get the difference. Pastry is someone that bakes the goods. It's someone that bakes the foods. So a pastry chef. So when you're baking, you are a pastry chef. So when you are preparing raw foods, you are a pantry chef. So get those differences. So a pantry, someone specialized in preparing cold dishes. Someone specializes preparing cold dishes. Then pastry specializes in all baked goods. So chef de Torrente is someone that specializes in all cooking areas. So chef de Torrente, you preparing those recipes at your college, you are classified as chef de Torrente. You are expected to be able to prepare all your standardized recipes as they are. So you were chef de Torrente during your practicals. So chef de Torrente, I don't think you can forget it how I just said it, because you will feel more familiar with it, that the time I was doing my practical, that means I was chef de Torrente. I was preparing soups, I was preparing whatever fishes. I was preparing grill meat, fried chicken. Like, you were chef de Torrente. You were chef de Torrente. So as I was saying, on Chef de Toronto, I was saying that Chef de Toronto, I was making an example about you guys when you cook during your practical. So basically, what de Toronto means, it's like someone who can specialize in any dish. That means you can do the fish, you can cook the fish, you can roast the meat, you can grill whatever, you can do sauce, you can do soups. Like, it's someone who can do everything in the kitchen. So that's basically what Chef de Toronto refers to. So then the other one, it was entremate, someone who specializes with entree. So this particular chef specializes in preparing of hot soups, vegetables. So basically, entree refers to something that is not grilled. You see, so entree or entremate, it's similar to it. It's one anything of shit. Sure. My bad about what just happened. Someone was knocking. So yeah, as I was saying, entremate or entree, it's same as sauté chef, someone who prepares soups. So sauté chef and entremates, they are both they do one thing. So they do one thing. They are one of the same thing, because they prepare soups. No, they are one of the same thing, but they differ in what. So a saucy chef, you see, it's someone who specializes in making soups and gravies. Yeah, that's a saucy chef, someone who makes soup and gravies. So sometimes you might find that the examiner will want to test if you know between an entremate and salty chef, because they are one and similar thing. So it might come as a true or false question that a sous chef and an entremate chef, they both cook soups, and one specializes also in making of gravies. True or false? So did you hear how I just said the sentence? Entremate and sauté chef, they both prepare soup, but one specializes more in preparing gravies, or one specializes more in preparing vegetables. So which one, this is where you're supposed to know how to differentiate between entremate and a sauté chef. So sauté chef, they both prepare soups, but they differ in specializing gravies. Like the entremate does not specialize in gravies, but sauté chef, they prepare gravies. Then the entremate, they specialize mostly in vegetable things, soups that include vegetables. So this is the two different soups, but this one, they specialize more into soups that consist of vegetables. That means they can make up the soup adding vegetables. So that's the difference between the two. Then the commissie chef, it refers to someone that works under a chef depart, reports and learn from chef depart. So a commis chef, it's like a junior chef. It's a junior chef, someone that let's say you are done with your N6, you are going for in-service training. So when you get to in-service training, you will normally, if ever you work in as a qualified cook, wherever you will be doing your in-service training, then in everything that you do, you're going to be directed by the head chef or either the executive chef or as a sous chef. So these three chefs, you're gonna fall under them. Between these three, whatever task that you will be assigned to perform, it will be specifically under the authority of the top chefs, which is executive, head chef, and sauce chef. So as a committee, you will be working under supervision. Will be working under supervision of a sous chef. So a sous chef will be monitoring your work. Yes, your sous chef will be ensuring that you prepare accordingly. So yeah, that's what the commissaire chef is all about. And then apres-ski, it also falls under the example of you are fresh from school, you are fresh from college, so you don't have experience. So when you get to the in-service training, you are not a professional cook, you are not a chef, because you have never gotten the experience yet of the establishment. So now you will be categorized according to an apprenti, AWPRENT, an apprenti. An apprenti refers to students who are busy with practical training in the kitchen. So the commissaire chef, I said, is someone who works under supervision. Then an apprenti is someone who is busy in the practical training in the kitchen. So also this one can fall during your practical times. When you get to the kitchen, you're no longer a student, but you are an apprenti. An apprenti refers to a student who is busy with his practical. So basically, when we are in the kitchen, we are classified as an apprenti because you are a student who is busy with practical. So PLONGEUR, I don't know the French term, but that's the name. So what it refers to, plongeur, it's someone who cleans dishes and utensils. So this specific person in the kitchen, his duty is to ensure that the utensils and the dishes are cleaned. So all he does is to ensure the utensils and the dishes are clean. Then we have expeditor. Expeditor refers to like a waiter, someone. It's a waiter, expedite. They can say this name. The reason I wrote different names from what we know is because of when it comes exam, they won't ask what we know, they will ask what we understand. So if ever the examiner wants to see if you understand, he wouldn't ask you what is a waiter, because you will be able to answer the question if they say what is a waiter. So the reason they're gonna use different words is to test if you know, if you have the knowledge, if you know what it takes, if you know what an expeditor is. When you say you are an expeditor, they're referring to a waiter. So it's someone who's serving the prepared dish to the customers. That's a waiter, someone who serves the prepared dish to the customers. So the other name is what? Expeditor. Expeditor it's a waiter. Expeditor. So when they say expeditor, it refers to a waiter. As I just said, it refers to a waiter. Then COWMUNARD. I would say commune or commande, communande, pronunciation. It's, you see, English, guys. Some of us, we did first additional language, so it's very hard to pronounce some of the names. They feel like, I don't know, bombastic words, but at least they are just simple. But because of these are not English words, these are French terms. So the reason I'm struggling to pronounce these names, most of the classification of chefs in chef department, they normally use French terms. So basically, on the question paper that I've checked, sometimes the examiner just get bored and asks 4 of these types of chef depart. So imagine if these things comes and you know nothing. So it will be a whole 8 marks gone. Because sometimes the examiner might get bored, say, let me just ask something French. Let's see, I want to reduce their marks. This is the question that I think they might not know, but because of the advantage that you have already taken, you will be very, very, very excessively strong enough to answer the question, because I just have explained. Even if when the times comes, they normally look like English terms, but they are not English terms. You will see they will certainly have what's this thing on the top, something like open chord on the top. They have something like an open chord on the top to show that when you say this word, like, it's like they say you must say, if it is entered, right, it's entry. You see, but yeah, we are not learning Spanish, we are not learning French, we are focusing on catering. But French is part of catering, by the way. Escaline. So remember I said pour who, the one that ensures that utensils and dishes are clean. So here's an escalier. An escalier is washing anything that was used in food cooking or preparing. So when you are an escalier, that means you clean everything. You are not just cleaning dishes and and utensils, but you clean the whole things, the machines. You're cleaning everything. That means when you are doing that, you are not classified as a pelho, as a pawn. Yeah, but we are rather classified as an escalier. ESCUELERIE. Escalier. Someone washing anything that was used in food cooking or preparing. So, and then the last one will be the banquet chef. So when is a banquet chef? Someone who works in a banquet. So this is basically one of the topics that I'm going to touch in nutrition, but I'm not going to focus on banquet. What is banquet and what's so on? So when they ask you banquet, just say it's someone that works in a banquet. That's it. So catering, one thing I like, that it can be general knowledge. You can just answer it from what you have understood. Like, it's basically asking things from your day-to-day reality. So then they don't normally ask things that you like. It could be easy for you to guess in catering, and you can guess correctly because they normally ask the things that we know, the things that we have seen. So when it comes to the kitchen safety and hygiene practice. So basically, this one refers to the clothes that a chef should wear. So I'm not gonna uh, take long. I'm just gonna touch up because I think already you know that a chef must wear chef's hat, chef pants, chef jacket, apron, neckties, safety shoes. So those are the 6 basic hygienic practice that a chef should practice in a day-to-day or in a normal basis. So a chef should wear a chef jacket. So why should he wear a chef jacket? To prevent chef's hat. Why should a chef wear a chef's hat? Chefs should wear chef's hat in order to prevent falling hair into food, to prevent contamination, physical contamination. So chef pants to protect from spills and promote comfortability. So chef jackets to protect from flames and burns, apron to protect from spills and hazards, neckties to protect chef against temperature fluctuations. Then safety shoes. The shoes must be comfortable and slip resistant to prevent falls. So this one, I think, if it comes out, then it should be one of your advantages that you should take on your test. So food and storage temperatures. So what is food and storage temperatures? So food and storage temperatures. So basically here we are focusing on preventing food from getting spoiled, preventing food from getting contaminated. So when we focus on the temperature, so I will start from negative 18 degrees Celsius, which I think the examiner likes the most. From negative 18 degrees Celsius below and below, from negative 18 and below, that means it could be negative 23 or what's or not. But as from negative 18, that is where the freezing storage starts. It starts on negative 18. So they might test you. They say on a true false question, they say food can be stored in a freeze, or they might say the freezer was broken. Now the temperature of the freezer is negative 16. Is it still a freezing? Is it but rather it is not a freezing storage. So I said from 0 to 5 is a cold food storage. Is a cold food storage for it is a cold storage for food. It is a cold storage. So basically, this is the freezing. This is the refrigerator. This is the refrigerator temperature point. That means from anything from 0 to 5, it's on a refrigerating temperature. So refrigerating temperature do not exceed 5. Do not exceed 5. So from 0 to 5, you know that this is the refrigerating temperature. -18 and below is the freezer storage. -18 to 0 is the safe freezing. 0 degrees to 5 degrees is the food storage, which is the refrigerator storage, the one that we use often. Then from 5 degrees to 63. Now here's the interesting part. From -5 degrees, not from negative, I don't know why I like saying negative, from 5 degrees to 63 degrees Celsius. So this is the danger zone. So the danger zone, it is where food is likely to have bacteria, is likely to be poisonous. So anything from food that is stored above 5 degrees Celsius to 63 degrees Celsius, it is on the danger zone. It means it consists of bacteria. It might be contaminated, or bacteria will grow and cause food poisoning. So anything between above 5 to 63, it is a danger zone. So also this one, they can say food can be stored under 15 degrees Celsius. True or false? Already 15 degrees Celsius. No, this is the danger zone. Food can be only stored under 5 degrees Celsius. So already no, it's false. So the other one is anything above 63. Now anything above 63 to 74. Now the food is hot, is in the hot zone. That is the cooking temperature. That is where food is cooked. That is the hot food, not cooking. That is the hot food. I'm snoring. That is the hot food zone. That is the hot food zone. So, and then from 74 to 100 is the cooking temperature. From 74 to 100, then that's the cooking temperature. From 74 to 100 degrees is the cooking temperature. And then we are going to discuss types of contamination. We're going to discuss types of contamination. I think you should consider taking a break for about 5 minutes or 15. You can take a break, as I'm also taking a break now, so that we'll continue with a fresh mind. Welcome back from the break. So as we continue, as we are done discussing the kitchen safety and hygiene practices, which are the things that when you are practicing hygiene, you should wear or you should put on. So the next one, the next discussion will be fatum. What is fatum? Fatum. So basically, fatum, these are what makes hazards in kitchens. So they are categorized. So I'm gonna get my notes now and continue. So what is FATOM? FATOM. When I say FATOM, we are discussing about oxygen, food, acidic, where are these? Okay, basically FATOM, it's all about food, presence of acid, temperature, time, oxygen, and moisture. So in FATOM it's a abbreviation of food, acid, temperature, oxygen, and moisture. That's the FATOM is an abbreviation of those words I just said: food, acid, temperature, time, oxygen, and moisture. So probably you have did this in sanitation or cleaning and what I don't know what they call this course, but yeah, cleaning in hospitality or whatsoever. But it's more similar to sanitation and safety, depending on what your college preferred. So I'm not gonna explain FATOM deeply. I don't think by any means the examiner might want to ask details, but even if they do ask, these are general things that you could explain. You know that the temperature in the food establishment, it's considered as a serious factor. Time which we keep food is considered as a serious factor. Oxygen is considered as a serious factor because it reduces and it can also increases food to be spoiled. Examic browning, it is caused by oxygen. So then you know that acids do not likely acids, they are likely do kill bacteria, but not as complete. They are not 100%, but they are likely to kill bacteria. So now we are going to dive in food and storage temperatures. So I think I have explained this one's food and storage temperatures. I was explaining types of contamination, if I'm not mistaken. I don't quite remember before I went to the break where I was, but I remember explaining food storage temperature, saying that anything from -18 and below is considered freezing storage. Then I said that anything from 18 degrees to 0 degrees Celsius, it's a safe freezing storage point. So I remember explaining these things. So I was actually explaining types of contaminations. So when we speak about types of contamination, we got three types of contaminations. So what are these three types of contamination? So these things are very easy. I think these things you could just explain them, and they are not hard to grab. So especially when it comes to cross-contamination. So cross-contamination, it is when germs or bacteria from one thing gets onto another surface. It's like So whatever dirty of the fish, you are taking it to the chicken. So you are causing the chicken to be more poisonous towards customers. So contamination results as a food poisoning. That means in order for you to avoid food poisoning, these you need to know that you are not supposed to share. You are not supposed to prepare fish and the chicken on the same plate, guys. They do not go hand in hand. It cannot mix because they are from different environment. They consist of different bacteria. So you understand the mixtures that you are combining. You are combining germs of which it is not healthier. It could result as a food poisoning. So the other one is physical contamination. So physical refers to something that you can see, something that you can touch. That's something that is physical. It can be eye weakness. It can be felt. It can be touched. It can be seen. So when you talk about physically mostly refers to the hair and the nails that contaminate food. That means if your hair falls onto food, already the food is contaminated because whatever bacteria your body consists of, it is transferred onto the food and it causes food poison. That means a person with a weak immune system or anybody the immune system might reject the food due to the bacteria that is being transferred into the food. Your bacteria, let's say the nails, you were touching so many things to a point whereby you now when your nails are into food, they contaminate food, so they cause food poisoning. So the last one is chemical contamination. Chemical contamination refers to pesticides, chemical that is used to preserve food. So it could also contribute towards food poisoning. If ever food it is not washed, imagine if food is being chemically sprayed or preserved, chemically preserved, then you just go and eat the fruit without washing it. The chemical can, or rather the chemical will cause food poisons, will cause food to be poisonous. So the HACCP, HACCP, HACCP. So what is HACCP? So HACCP, normally they question papers, they like this. They can put the 7 steps of HACCP. They can ask you what is HACCP, define HACCP. So actually HACCP, you will know that HACCP refers to hazard analysis critical control point. So HACCP is what? It's hazard analysis critical control point. So this is where we control the hazard in the food establishment. Oh my bad, my ear, it's damn. Yeah, as I was saying that HACCP refers to hazard analysis critical control points. So this HACCP is a systematic used to control or measure and ensure hygiene and safety in food service. So it is a system that was invented to control or measure the safety of food in an establishment. So how do we measure our food, our safety for food in an establishment? We established this systematic method, which is HACCP. So it helps us to identify where we need to store. It helps us to keep record of how food was stored, temperatures, the fluctuation of temperatures, the it helps us a lot in terms of the safety of food, to determine when and how food was handled, and when will it expire. So HACCP. So the HACCP system, it's normally the first one. So you also need to know the 7 steps, and bear in mind the 7 steps, they are just like they are in the textbook, the 7 steps. So the 7 steps, guys, you don't start with the last step on the first step. You always start with the first step on your textbook. So I'm going to do a short video for this kind of things. I'm going to make them like short videos so that you can remember first. You will see on my uploads. I'm gonna do another videos, the short ones, where I will be touching on some of the things, explaining it, putting pictures, visual colors, different colors, so that you can be able to remember these things. In all modules, I'm going to be doing that. So HACCP system, 7 steps. So the first one is to conduct a hazard analysis. So number 1, you conduct a hazard analysis. So before you start anything, you analyze the safety of the food. Number 2, you identify the critical control points. You identify what is needed in order to keep the food safety. When they say you identify critical control points, you identify the points where you can improve. You identify the points where the establishment might be lacking in terms of food safety. Then number 3 is you establish critical limits for each critical control point. So to establish, it's to set up. So in the textbook, the one that we are using, which is the revised curriculum for 2022, the other one is 2021, or the other one is 2022. Yeah. So basically what they wrote in our textbook is that we establish critical limits. Number 3 is we establish critical limits for each CCP. So you set up critical limits for critical control point. So when you set limits, these things, I don't know how I'm going to explain them, because I've never been in an establishment whereby I would say I would have experience of how they set the limits. But the way I think they do it, so they set the limit in terms of buying stock. You can think of buying stock. So for you to achieve a highest grade of food safety, you should not overstock food. I think that is the simplest way I can put it. When number 3, when they say establish critical limits for each critical control point. So after you have seen where you need to improve, you set limits. You say, okay, here I realized that you buy more food. So now for us to achieve the goal of food safety, we need to purchase less food. Yeah, as I was saying that in terms of setting critical limits, so number three, as you understand that we establish critical limits for HACCP. So I'm going to do this on a short video so that people would never forget these 7 steps. So all the steps I will be posting them on short videos. All the steps where in every module I will be posting them short, explaining them short. So yeah. So step number 4 is that you set up CCP monitoring requirements. So you can say you set up or but in our textbook it's written establish CCP monitoring requirements. So establish is same as set up. To establish is to set up something. So you establish CCP monitoring requirements. So how do you set up CCP monitoring requirements? I don't know how I am going to explain this, but from my understanding is that if you set up CCP monitoring requirements is what can I think of? So that is what I was saying. I'm gonna try get more research on the HACCP system, on how this system is being set up, so that when I post it, you will have visuals, you will have more understanding. But for now, I only know the steps as they are. I don't have fully idea of how they have been set. So the other thing is that you establish corrective actions. So now you have realized that the storage, the food is now reduced. So, but still, there's something that needs to be done. So what needs to be done? The storage needs to be always kept clean. So you correctify small errors which the establishment did not pay attention to. So the other one, that is step number 6. You set up, you establish corrective actions. Then step number 7, you establish procedures for validating, ensuring the HACCP system is working as intended. So number 7, you set procedures. Procedures are steps. You set steps on how a HACCP system can be inserted in an establishment. You set steps to direct the manager how he or she could use this HACCP system. So step number 8 is to establish a record keeping procedure. So you need to have records of how you've been keeping food, how you've been ensuring the safety of food. So that's basically one of the things that as a manager of an establishment you need to take care of. So personal hygiene practice. So what are personal hygiene practice? So personal hygiene practice, guys, personal hygiene practice. So basically you do this mostly in sanitation or your they call it housekeeping and cleaning. So you know that personal hygiene practice, personally hygiene practice. What do I do to be clean? What do I do to ensure that hygiene is achieved? So you know that number 1 is to ensure that to wash your hands regularly. So in hospitality, it's very essential for us to always wash our hands because we work with our hands and we are touching the food. So bear in mind that you cannot come from toilet and just go straight to the kitchen without washing your hands. So you need to wash your hands. This thing, it is enforced so that it can be so that it is in your your bloodstream, so that you know that in everything you do, you need to wash your hands to prevent food poisoning, because you never know what you have touched. You don't know. You cannot see bacteria. Bacteria can only be seen using a microscope. So always wear clean uniform. Cleanness is next to godliness. So when you are clean, guys, no signs, no illness shall form. So reform from wearing jewelry or makeup, perfume. So this when you are especially in a food establishment, your expensive cologne, they're gonna spoil the food. You won't even be able to smell the original food. So imagine if you cooked food and the food is smelling bad. You didn't even hear the smell because you had so much cologne on you. So cologne and jewelry, makeup are prohibited in a hospitality industry. So food handlers must only work with food only if they are healthy. So if ever you know that you are not healthy in hospitality industry, you are not permitted to work. You are not permitted to work because you're going to easily contaminate food. Imagine if you sneeze, and remember, if you are sick, you cannot keep washing your hands now every 2 seconds. No. So that's why they say you rather not come, so that even if you wash your hands 5 times, it's fine. You wash your hands, but we are not working with food. So how to prevent food hazards? So food hazards, how do we prevent them? So we use separate storage areas for raw and high risk food. We avoid the danger zone temperature. When keeping food, we ensure that food are kept above 63 degrees Celsius when we keeping food hot. And when we keeping them safe, the safe storage or the cooling, it should not exceed 5. It should not exceed 5 degrees Celsius. So be anything above 5 degrees Celsius up to 63 degrees Celsius, that it's danger zone temperature. So we don't use that temperature. So then the other one is that defrost food should be cooked and eaten as soon as possible. So anything that is defrost should be cooked and eaten as soon as possible. Never refreeze defrost food. Share perishable foods at temperatures below 7 degrees. Dry storage area should maintain temperatures. So handle food as little as possible. So that is how you prevent food hazards. So you handle food as little as possible. Dry storage should be maintained. Store perishable foods at temperatures below 7 degrees. Never refreeze defrost food. You cannot refreeze defrost food. But I know that in our home we do this on a normal daily basis. We defrost the meat, then we take it back to the freeze. But when it comes to hospitality establishment, it is not permitted. So be warned, defrost food should be cooked and eaten as soon as possible. So as soon as the food is defrosted, it should be cooked and eaten as soon as possible. When keeping food, ensure the temperature, as I've said, you always avoid the danger zone temperature. So avoid the danger temperature. So as I've said, that I was explaining how to prevent food hazards. So as we move on to how to prevent cross contamination. So how do we prevent cross contamination? How do we prevent cross contamination? So cross contamination, we prevent it by using separate preparation areas. So this basically refers to the example that I made earlier on mixing or cooking fish and chicken on the same plate, as I've already illustrated on that combination of different species or carcass in a one board causes cross contamination, because they will share or they will cross bacteria within each other. So you use separate preparation areas and utensils. You use color-coded chopping boards where possible. So as you know that during our practicals we were showed the color-coded chopping boards. So you would know that for vegetables you use the green one, for the you use the red meat, the plain. You can use it for anything. The plain one, which is for the glass one, in case there are shortage of your color-coded boards, the glass one, it is more preferably to use, because you can use it for anything, but as long as you're going to clean it after preparing whatever you are preparing. So then you clean as you go. Sinks and other surfaces must be sanitized regularly. So the sinks and other stuff should be sanitized. The stove, the whatsoever, to prevent ants or cockroaches in an establishment. So storage for equipment. This one they ask, guys. They ask, give us three types of storage give us three types of equipment that can be found in a storage. So during exam, because of you undermine this, like, no, this thing I can guess. Now comes the exam. The examiner wants to know three types of equipment that could be stored in a storage. Now you don't know the storage for equipment. So storage for equipment, this could be chillers, equipment not requiring freezing but cooling, then freezers, chest freezers, walk-in freezers, warmers, bin marines, hot trays. So that is typical storage for equipment. So that is a storage for equipment. Chillers, freezers, warmers. So production equipment and cooking equipment or other equipment. So production equipment are mixers, slicers, choppers. The cooking equipment, those are the steamers, dry heat, the grillers. Then other equipment that can be found in an establishment, it could be dishwashers, ice cream machine. So you could find the ice machine in an establishment, you could find the ice cream machine, you could find a dishwasher. So cooking equipment, as I've said, those are the steamers, the kettles, then the dry heat ovens and stove, the grills and salamanders. So yeah, production equipment, mixers, tabletop floor mixers, slicers. Normally find those slicers that they normally hire to butcher the meat during ceremonial stuff. So yeah, and the choppers as well. So the next one will be, what can we use knives for? Imagine this comes and you be thinking that what can we use knives for? So you have a gassy mentality. Knives can be used for stabbing. Like, you're frustrating the marker. The marker already gets frustrated. Like, yeah, like simple things like this. What can we use knives for? Guys, you cannot tell me you cannot uh, uh, tell the marker what can knives be used for. Knives could be used for deboning. So knives can be used for deboning meat. So how do you debone meat? You use the knife to debone meat, separating meat and bone and the joints. You use knife. Knife can be used for cutting. And for you to cut bread, for you to cut meat, you need a knife. Knife could be used for slicing. To you, in order for you to slice that peloni, you cannot slice it with a spatula, but rather you need a knife to have a proper cut or slice. Then when it comes to chopping, you also need a knife, a French knife. When we're chopping the vegetables, we use knives. So this, I think this should be your easy marks. If the examiner did want to test you with these frameworks, if he or she decides to give you this framework, this should be your strength. This should be your strength, guys. So when selecting knives, what should you consider? So as you know that in terms of buying knives, you shouldn't just buy knives. There are those knives that we normally use that are cheap. In a serious establishment, those knives they are to not be purchased because they will promote high accidents, high volume of accidents. So in terms of selecting knives, this should be your point. This should be your point when it comes to when selecting knife. What should you consider? So what should you consider when you selecting knives? Okay, we still have 2 minutes. So as I was saying, that things that you should consider when selecting knives. So things that you should consider when selecting knives. So it is important the correct knife for a specific task. Let's say you want a knife that you're going to use to cut bread. So there's a bread knife. So when you select the knife, you must be specific for the purpose of what type of a knife you need for that specific task. So when selecting knife, you should select the correct knife for a specific task, and the quality and durability of the metal or the blade. So the metal or durability of the blade, it must be hard. It must not be a metal or a blade that can easily bind. So normally, if a knife can bind, then it means it is not the quality blade that should be selected. So always check the durability and the quality of the metal or blade. So the tank is is where you hold. If that things can easily get broken, then I think you should consider purchasing another type of knife. You shouldn't consider purchasing the very same brand or whatever the knife that you normally purchase might be. So always consider purchasing different knife based on the tang. So it has to run a full length of the handle. So the handle must be strong and easy to grip. So the handle of the knife is not supposed to crack or to shift, or it must not be taped. You will find that in the olden days, the knife used to be taped due to uh, the durability of the tang. So the handle must be strong and easily to grip. So it must be strong and easily to grip. Then the other thing is that a good blade must be easily to resharpen and return to its shape. So imagine if you purchase this poor blade that they break. Do you think are you gonna be able to sharpen them? The answer is no. So, or that is why when selecting knife should be specific on those types of qualities. So because you would know that a good blade can be easily resharpened or returned to its shape. So a blade should not bend while cutting. So you find that there are those cheap knives that when you cut it goes like sideways, but you are cutting straight, you are holding it straight. The reason that it bends sideways, it is due to the quality of the blade. As I've said, always consider a strong blade so that when you cut straight, it goes straight. It does not go sideways or bends. So yeah. Then general rules. Where we general rules for using knives. So the general rules for using knife is that select the correct tool for the job. Take extra care when using a knife to cut sideways. Never debone frozen meat. Use the proper chopping board and open space to promote efficiency. So keep knives sharpened at all times. Place knife flat on the table. Do not try to catch a falling knife. Never play games with a knife. So these are the general rules for using knives. So these are the rules that the examiner might want to test. That do you know the rules of the knife? So then the tools used for sharpening knives, it's sharpening stone and sharpening steel. So you will find that there's that thing that is long. I don't know what do they call it, but then yeah, you'll find it's like some screw sort of. It was rolled. I don't know. It's like I cannot explain it very properly, but the sharpening steel will it's normally long. I even wondered what was the use of this, but until now, then I understand the purpose of that steel, because I used to take that and go play with it. I used to play sword with it because it was not it was not that sharp. It was just the thing I couldn't understand, but yeah. Then different types of knives. So the different types of knife, as I've said, when you purchase a knife, you should purchase a knife based on the task that is required of the knife. So when you purchase a knife, you should purchase a knife based on the task that you are going to do. So a French knife is normally used for chopping, slicing, dicing, or coating in the kitchen. So the butcher's knife then is a heavy broad used for cutting or sectioning meats. So as you know, the butcher's knife, it is used for bread It can be used for heavier broad used for cutting or sectioning of meats. So the bread knife is normally used for cutting bread. Then the deboning or boning knife, it is used for deboning raw meats. Then the clove, it's very heavy broad blade used for cutting bones. So a clove, it is used for cutting bones, and butcher's knife, it is used for cutting meat or sectioning meats. So steak knife, it is used for cutting steaks. Paring knife, it is used for trimming and preparing vegetables or fruits. And tanning knife, it is used for tanning vegetables or decorate vegetables. Oyster knife, it is used for opening oysters. And then climber knife, it is used for opening clams. Lemon zester, it is used for outer layer. So the zester is the one that they used to what can I how can I say it? They normally use the zester. You will find that when they're about to garnish using the skin lemon, they use the zester. So it's like they are frying the outer layer of the oranges, or the outer layer of the lemon. So, or the outer layer of citrus fruit. So they normally use the zester. So okay, but then and then for the canal cutter, it is used for decorating oranges, lemons. So also this one, I think it's gonna be more, you won't easily forget it as you see them. So I'm basically going to do another video where I show pictures of these types of knife, explaining them. I'll just be showing them on a quick video that I will be uploading soon. Not now, but as soon as I'm done with all the courses, all the subjects. So that is when I will be doing short videos for things that I think they need to be visualized, for you to have a understanding, for you to have a visual of it, in order for you to understand it properly. I think you need to see them. So going to be uploading short videos. Then a pellet knife or a spatula, it is used for spreading or filling. Then a bell cutter or scoop, it is used for cutting fruits and vegetables into small balls. So bowler cut, as it says, this is the bowler cut. So the butter so the butter cruel, it is used to cruel butter. Then mezzaluna, it is used for chopping fresh herbs on chopping board. It is used for chopping fresh herbs. You will find is the one that I think you normally see it on the Top Chef or Master Chef when they are chopping the when they are chopping the herbs. You normally find it will be swinging, like on sideways. The chef will be swinging it very fast, fast inch. So yeah. So the other one is what? Okay, this might be the last two of the different types of knives, which will be olive, which is used to remove stones from cherries or olives. It's called a olive stoner or a cherry stoner. So it is used to remove stones from cherries or olives. So mandolin Mandolin, it is used to slice and chop fruits and vegetables. So mandolin, it is used to slice and chop fruits and vegetables. Mandolin, it is used to slice and chop fruits and vegetables. So the other one was the kitchen cooking paper. So we are about to wrap the module. I think, yeah, these are the last ones, the kitchen cooking papers. So normally they might ask they might ask one and say, name the function of absorbent paper. Yes, it absorbs fats, it can be used as what and what. So you need to know, because the examiner, they might ask you to tell them what the papers can be used for. Could normally ask any and say, tell us what the papers can be used for. So you need to know that a wax paper or a baking or a silicone paper can be used for this and that. So a wrapping or a kitchen paper towel normally can be used for draining deep fried or fried foods. So it can be used for draining deep fried or fried food. Then grass-proof paper can be used to cover or wrap, normally used as a solid sheet or rolls. It is used for lining cake tins to make cakes easier to turn and prevent them from breaking. It can also be used for wrapping food for lunch boxes. It can be used for covering puddings to be steamed. It can be used for covering meat joints in the oven. It can also be used for tracing decorations onto cakes. So the examiner might ask, name other functions of grass proof. So you see these points, how many are they? There are 5. So already, if you know this, that a grass-proof paper could be used for lining cakes, could be used for wrapping food, could be used for covering pudding, could be used for covering meat joints, could be used for tracing decoration onto cakes. So a grass-proof paper, already you have gotten your 5 easy marks. You didn't even stress when you faced the question. When it just shows up, you be like smiling like hell, like wow, really? You're asking me about grass-proof paper? But yeah, then the other one, or the examiner might want to know, do you know what is a silicone paper? Or what is a parchment paper? So basically a silicone paper or a baking paper or a parchment paper, it is one of the same thing. So this one is the most expensive one, the baking paper or silicone paper. So there are piping bags, there are baking, they separate meat joints for freezing, there are baking rigs. So they are the ones that they are not stick. Even if when you bake, they do not stick in the pan. So that is why they are so expensive. They do not stick in the pan. So the wax paper, waxed. As we have discussed, grass-proof paper, silicone paper, waxed paper. So you must know the different functions of these papers. So the silicone paper, it can be used for piping bags, can be used for baking merugs, It can be used for separating meat joints. So that is a silicone paper. Silicone paper could be used for separating meat joints, or for baking maroons, or for piping bags. The wax paper, it can be used to separate meat joints in the freezer. It could be used for wrapping packed lunch. It could be used for sealing homemade jam. So the wax paper, can use it for sealing homemade jam, or can be used for wrapping packed lunches, or can be used for separating meat joints in the freezer. Then the cottage or cartouche. So this one is normally the one that they use to remove the soup skins, and it can also be used to sweat onions. So when you sweat the onions, you can use a cartouche. So yeah, then the last three ones are the plastic cling film. So seal over food to wrap packed lunches. Aluminum foil could be used for covering food that are steamed, wrapping food, lining casseroles containing food, similar to cooking bags, covering meat for roasting. So aluminum foil, there are there are also 6 points of them. Could be used for roasting, could be used as a cooking bag, lining containing food, wrapping food, covering food to be steamed, wrapping foods for refrigerator. So the uses of oven bags. They are normally used to cook. It's like you insert your food inside the oven bags, then you let it cook. So that's normally what the cooking bags are for. So yeah, make sure that you subscribe, you tune in, you like and comment. As this is the end of module 1, as I will be uploading module 2. So make sure you subscribe and like, show some love. I've left my WhatsApp, so make sure that you WhatsApp the number. So basically, I've created a national group whereby I invited all colleges to come and contribute. They share ideas, they share their knowledge in terms of how they are taught this thing. So basically, we'll find many courses, not just these courses. So you will find many things in the group. The advice on how to go for an exam, the advice on how to sub for your exam. Basically, we'll find more knowledge inside the group. So basically, the group is still new. As you will see, there will be few members due to the old number that I was using. The WhatsApp got eliminated.